course, thank the staff and brought Mike Trier up here with me to kind of head this recruiting thing up. There's a lot of work that goes in, to recruiting a class from Mike Hamrick showing up on Saturdays to the academic people to the equipment guys and everything that goes into it. So, I thought our guys did a great job. I thought we targeted the right guys and came away with a class that we're excited about. I thought we met our needs and looking forward to get these guys on campus and coaching them up. So, if anybody's got any questions for Mike here at the end, I'll let him stay here for a few minutes. But for a young coach, he did a tremendous job and kept this thing organized the way it should be.
The December signing period, does that allow you, once that's done, to sort of be like, okay, this is where we're at, these are our needs going forward? Because it seemed like D-line was a priority going into today.
Yeah. I think what happens with that early signing period, and to be honest, we signed more this year early than we did the year prior to that, and not particularly planning for that to happen because I like to keep, because normally once that early signing period is over, there's a whole new pool of players that are out there, which is kind of what happened a little bit with us, at this point this year as well. But there's no doubt that number one, you know who you have by that early signing period, and you can focus and lock in on, the two defensive linemen. We had to go get a defensive lineman, had to go get a couple other guys, of need. And also when you get to that point too, you look at where you are and you say, okay, let's just take the best possible player we can get at maybe one on offense, one on defense. And with the way things are right now with this crazy transfer portal and everything that's going on out there, we've kept a couple offers aside, to see what happens in the next 6 weeks or 8 weeks or 2 months, because with what's happening out there right now, you don't want to be stuck with not being able to, because you have to have an offer now in order to take a kid. And so we have a couple we put aside, and we'll see where they end up going.
Doc, does it take a little stress off what used to be a pretty frenetic day for you guys?
Yeah, we got our workout in this morning with our kids. And I think we had 5 guys or 4 guys, Mike, whatever that was. And so to answer your question, yeah, normally you're sitting waiting around for 24, 25. The old fax machines don't work half the time to get in, but now it's emails and scans and all things are a lot better. But just to have to deal with 4 or 5 kids, at this point, then that's a good thing.
On the flip side of that, was there a stress factor to that falling right in the middle of the full week for you all?
I don't think it really was. I think it seems like those early signing kids are all locked in. If everyone go and sign early, they're locked into where they're going and ready to go. The ones you have issues with are the ones that don't sign, and you have to chase them around for another 4 weeks. And normally those guys that don't sign early are guys that may change their mind or do that type of thing anyway. But the early signing, of course that's the first time we've had to do it, at a bowl site. But I thought it went smooth. I thought there were no surprises, and we ended up getting who we thought we would get. So I thought it worked out well. But the thing that's happened to us a little bit, not just us, but it's going to happen to just about anybody in our league, or our bowl games are all early. You look at the bowl tie-ins, they're always anywhere from the 16th of December to the 20th of December, so they're all in that block right there. So what happens to you with preparation for the bowl, you lose, you got about a 3-week window there to recruit, but 2 of those weeks are in preparation or at the bowl site. So you got about 3 or 4 days to get out and get your recruiting done, and that thing goes dead, and you don't start back. And I think this year it was January the 14th, I think it was, we were able to get back out, and you got 3 weeks to try to finish things up. So it's changed things a little bit, but I thought we adjusted well to it.
I feel like the kids like it better to have that early opportunity to lock it in.
I think so. I think they know too, and I think, like I say, I think I was totally against it, to be honest. And after being a part of it for 2 years now, I kind of like it, because you know exactly what you have and where you need to go the next 3 weeks to get things done.
Somebody that stands out from today, Dante Walker, was a kid that was committed to Arkansas. What was the process with him, and how did you all, you look at some of his offers, what did you all do to get him here?
Well, Pep has just done a great job of working his area down there, and he was committed to Arkansas and was supposed to go to Maryland. When Loxley got the job, Maryland was also recruiting him, and we're able to get him in on a visit. And if you get a kid on campus, you got shot, with them. So we were able to, and what happens is, as well as a lot of those kids that don't sign early. You look at a lot of the schools out there right now; they're 90 to 95% full on that early signing period, and so there's not a lot of scholarships left for those guys at the end. So you get some guys like him that we end up getting that are really, really good players, because of it. So you got to be able, where we are at this point, you got to be able to play both ends. Hopefully do a good job with the early stuff, but have some scholarships set aside for the Dante Walkers and some of those guys that end up getting at the end of the day.
Well, do you feel like people appreciate that back end side of it? Everybody knows that you all go out and recruit, but it's like Mike and those guys are also trying to stay on top of guys that might have been targets elsewhere and keep them with the contacts that you all got within the coaching profession for people that might be able to fit your program.
There's no question. Like I say, you target certain guys, and our numbers. We're not. Issue being at 85. We were at 84, I think, a year ago. We'll be at 85 again this year, and so our numbers are good and they're in good shape right now. So like as kids, up to this point we haven't lost like one kid or whatever, which that's a good thing to look around the country what's going on.
Do you evaluate them now as if guys that could help you right away, or is that just something you do it with the course of spring ball and everything?
I think it's you get some kids here early, a couple of linebackers. Linebackers was a need for us. We got a couple of young linebackers that are here that will have the opportunity to go through the workout part of it in spring ball, which gives them an edge. And we got a D lineman in here early that we felt like we needed a couple older kids. With the loss of B and Malik and those guys up front, we brought in a couple of JUCOs at D line that gives us some help inside. One of them's already on campus. Of course, one of them will be here in May. So, I think there's no doubt. It's hard for. It's hard. It changed a little bit. That also changed a little bit a year ago, Keith. With we don't play those guys 4 games. I think there was 5 to 6 kids that we played. For 3 to 4 games that helped us towards the end when our depth became an issue, and that's a good thing. So some of these young freshmen, by being here in the summer, can have the opportunity to help you, especially on special teams. And then, we targeted some older guys, and we're still looking. We'd like to come up somehow with another linebacker here or there to finish this thing up. So we're still recruiting will not stop.
You look at Carpenter and Johnson, the two JUCO guys that you added today on the D line, 2 guys with 2 years of eligibility left. How important was that need to get guys that have already been through it and that can help immediately, even though you knew that you need that as a 4-year need as well?
Well, as long as you can't. It's hard for really hard for a freshman to come in and play on the D line or the O line for that matter, and because it's such a physical mismatch up there with some of those guys. So we went out and had to try to find a couple older guys that have played at the junior college level, and we like the 2 guys we've got a lot. One's close to 280, 290. The other one's already up to 270. He's been here 3 weeks or whatever he's been here, so he's going to be a big man someday. So excited about the guys, the ones that are here, and again, looking forward to the guys getting in here. Hopefully we can get the other one here early on in May, so we have them here for at least a couple months or so.
How about the 2 quarterbacks that you got in the early period? Could you talk about them a little?
Grant Wells is very underestimated as an athlete. He's really a good athlete. He runs extremely well. I think he ran 4.5 in our camp. Got tremendous vertical. Probably he's Division I punter. He's a guy that can actually does a great job punting the football, and he's just a lot more athletic than people would think he is. We started recruiting him as a 9th grader when he was in our camps. Makes all the throws. I'm excited about him. Maurice Underwood weighs about what Cato weighed when he came in, which was about $150, but he's a lot taller. He's about 6'2", 6'3", but he can make all the throws. Comes from a tough situation like Cato did down in Miami, and has overcome a lot of adversity, and he's similar to that. He's a talented guy that's just raw, and we're excited about him. He played it, just like Cato and those guys played at extremely high level of football down there. So he's been in it and likes to play as Cato did. And we're excited about him as well.
That front 7, front 8 guys for you defensively, it seemed like linebackers were the focal point in the December period, and D-line with this later period. Yeah. How important was it to replenish after you all did have some pretty extensive losses this year?
Well, we did. The secondary, of course, was back intact, and Malik made the decision to go early. So we're still relatively got everybody back there with the exception of Malik. The corners are back intact, and we got Drake just played an awful lot of football, and Nazi and Kennard King's coming along. So we had to get the linebacker position. You've got Beckett, who we think's a solid player that hadn't played for us, but he'll be there, of course, in the spring. Mari Cobb's an all-conference player, I think. And he's back. So we just needed to get some, Yuli's turning. I mean, he's got to grow up and go play, it's sometimes when kids like Yuli, when it's actually their turn and those guys are gone, then they react and go play well. So, but we need more bodies there. So that's why we're providing the number that we have. And like I say, fortunately, 2 of those guys are on campus, and we're still looking to see if we can. We'd like to get one more older linebacker somehow, whether it be a transfer or a JUCO guy, sometime before we start summer ball.
How has the openness of the transfer portal sort of changed the game for you all?
So,
How is the openness of the transfer portal? I mean, it's pretty much out there. It's not a guessing game anymore.
No,
It's,
I mean,
hey, this guy's pretty, like.
he's monitored, who it is. I mean, if there's a guy out there, and you know what, you don't have to jump through hoops to try to get permission and all that. If they're in the portal, you can pick up the phone and make contact with them, so, it's eliminated a lot of steps, and I don't know if it's, I worry about it, to be honest with you, as a coach, I worry about it. I mean, I just, you got kids, I mean, there's 800 or 900 guys in that portal. I mean, come on. I mean, what message are we sending out there? I mean, you get a guy that's in the portal, and why am I? Well, I didn't want to compete for the job in the spring. I mean, the biggest thing that football and athletics in general teaches overcome adversity and fighting for what you get and all that kind of thing. For guys just to be able to pick up and leave at the drop of a hat because they don't like a coach or the decision that was made and all that, I'm not sure we're sending the right message. So. It's like anything else, you got to be careful what you ask for sometimes, and it's upon us, and as coaches, and we're going to do everything we can to take advantage of it. I mean, if there's guys on there, we're going to monitor it, know who they are, and if we know somebody or we think we can find somebody that can help us, then we'll try to take advantage of it the best we can.
It's almost like you all have to do your due diligence with JUCO kids and make sure that the mindset's right, things like that. Is it a similar deal with the transfer portal? You want to make sure that a kid's going to be bought into your program. He's not just kind of mentally weak. And
there's always a reason kids transfer. I mean, some good and some bad. I mean, there's no doubt that when a kid goes into that portal, you need to, as a coach, you better find out what they're all about, why they're transferring, and are they running from something. That type of thing. So yeah, we'll just like any kid that we recruit, we'll investigate and find out what's going on and make phone calls and see why they're in there, for what reason, and see if we're still interested.
You still look at those recruiting rankings? You guys look at those that matter? I know you've always kind of poo-pooed in the past.
Yeah. I say all the time, I don't get too concerned with stars. They're all 5 stars to us, and I know there's a lot of coaches been fired out there that sign a bunch of 5 stars every year, can't win a damn game, so I think at the end of the day, it's, you get guys that are tough and love football and have the ability to play. You can win a bunch of games with guys like that, because if they're tough, I'll fix everything else, and they love football, I can still fix everything else, but a lot of 5 stars out there that aren't very tough, that don't like football, and they play like 1 stars when you get them on campus, or no stars, so I think that's overrated, but I know it's good for the media, good for the fans, and all that type of thing. End of the day, turn the film on, watch them go play. Can they play the game? Awful lot. I mean, I don't know where it came from, but that Joey, the guy at the Super Bowl, Edelman, what was he, a no-star? I mean, there's a lot of guys out there. You look at all those guys in the Super Bowl. How many of them were 1 and 2 stars or no stars? And they find a way to go win a Super Bowl or go be a Super Bowl MVP. I don't know what he was, but he sure didn't have a whole lot of stars by his name when he signed out of high school.
Somebody that you all got late in December that wasn't expected and sort of came late was Amir Richardson, an in-state kid. How, in-state receivers have kind of been pretty good to this place over the years. How excited are you all to get him in and work with him?
Well, I coached his dad. I mean, I know what kind of kid he is. I know he comes from a tremendous family. He's a talented guy. He's long, can run, and has all the intangibles to be a great player. So we're really excited to have him. And we need another guy to come in and step up, and he'll get the opportunity to do that.
With wide receivers in mind, you also grabbed Brock Thompson. I know Coach Cramsey really high on him. Dallas Baker got him out of Fork Union. He's a guy that flies around the field real fast.
Yeah, we've had him in camp. He's a guy that came to camp, and you can tell a lot about kids in camp. You get a chance to watch him run and catch and do all those things. And there's no doubt he's really went to Fork Union. Dad, I guess, was 10 years in the majors, won the World Series at one point. Dad's a tremendous athlete. Brother plays basketball, I think, in some pro league somewhere. So comes from an athletic family, competes till, just a little bit he's been around here. You watch him, he competes. gets after it. He's got that look in his eye. What a big time athlete has. He probably got that from his dad, and his family. But we like him a lot. We like him a lot. And glad with him and Amir, that gives us two, good gets. And got a couple guys, in the weight room that we'll see here in May that we're excited about. Thanks, guys. I'll take a couple questions.